What's up? This is Max Sinclair here yet again, and today I am going to answer the question of what to do if your particular sector or niche is especially competitive and you're trying to use Google Ads. Does it even work? Is it even a good idea? Or maybe you should just leave Google Ads. My name is Max Sinclair, as I say, and I'm here from Snowball Creations. It's a paid ads agency that specializes in Facebook, Google, and LinkedIn are our favorites, and we play with some other channels. So I've got good experience kind of just seeing many different businesses and how we try to make them work.
Wow, it looks great.
And their business model on these various paid channels. So that's why I can see this, and I've gone through this challenge myself. So let's get started. So firstly, what is the problem here? The problem is, let's say, for example, you're trying to sell, let's go with eco-friendly toothbrushes again, or let's go with just generally an eco store. You're an eco store trying to sell products on the world of Google Ads, and it's a great place to go because e-commerce, Google Ads, they're a great marriage, which makes many people good money. But is it too competitive? There's lots of eco-friendly stores now in the world, and so they're all bidding to go onto that first page. So how can you try and make a return? Because ultimately, if there's 100 different companies all bidding on eco-friendly products as a phrase match, for example, you ultimately are going to have to spend a lot more per click because you have to go into an auction against 100 different people for that phrase match search. And so your cost per click might end up being, say, several pounds instead of, say, 20, 30p. So when you're trying to get enough conversions to pay for that and warrant the cost, that becomes impossible. This is the problem. This is the nightmare of people when they think about trying to use Google Ads for a competitive industry. So the answer, what is the answer? This is going to be a shorter video. I'm going to go straight in for the meat of it. The answer is thinking about how you're actually going to compete in any other part of your business in this bigger world. Because if you're starting a business and you are identical to every other eco store that exists online today, then you shouldn't start that business. That's the harsh truth of this. Oh, hey, if you haven't already, could you hit that like and subscribe button for me because it makes me so happy. If you're starting a business in any scenario, in any market, and you're trying to market it with any form of marketing, if you are not in any way unique to anybody else, then you're not bringing new value, you're not bringing anything original to the world. It's what is your USP is like one of the most common questions that people get asked when they're starting a business, and that's for good reason. If you have no unique selling point, then you are never going to be able to compete against anybody, because that unique selling point is how you can. Because, for example, if you're trying to sell eco-friendly products, Amazon has eco-friendly products. So how are you going to compete with Amazon that has this like infinite amount of money to spend? They're one of the biggest companies in the world, arguably the biggest. So how do you compete? How do you compete with them? But even how do you compete with the other, say, 99 eco stores? So the answer is using that unique selling point in everything about your business, but also your Google Ads. So you want to make sure your website talks about this unique factor. So let's say you're an eco-friendly product store, but let's say, for example, you have an especially effective way that every time somebody orders, this amazing thing happens. Like, not only do you offset the carbon emissions, but you plant an entire 3 acres of woodland. I'm making up some imaginary great scenario where your USP is especially good. But let's say that's the case. You have an amazing system for this. And so that situation, you do have a certain kind of niche that you're going to be better than Amazon, because Amazon cannot do this particular kind of little bubble because their business model is not built for that. It's built for this scale. So they can't move and adapt and change quickly like a small startup like you can. And you can focus in on this tiny little niche and own that. So then when you're trying to compete with Google Ads, you basically try and bring that across. So you don't just go on, say, eco-friendly products as like a search term or like eco-friendly, etc. You compete and beat them on that by using that USP that you own and basically pushing that within the ad, pushing that within your website and all the way through the funnel, and then also focusing on keywords and phrases that are going to be more appropriate to that. So not just keywords and phrases which are a little bit broader, but ones that are really somebody searching, for example, in this situation, eco-friendly product company with carbon offsetting. That might be a terrible example, but that's a version of somebody looking for some company that makes that delivery process work for them. So this is how you can find customers that they will like you more than Amazon. And that's a big statement to make. But in your tiny little group, in your little world, that small, 10,000 customers, they will prefer you over Amazon. And so you build your business around that small little 10,000 people, and then you slowly build up and build up and build up, and then you can expand that. So the answer is with Google Ads is go extra niche, go very I called it a micro niche a long time ago. Actually, I did a video a very long time ago, probably like 4 years ago, highlighting the term micro niche, because people just generally don't go niche enough. So I think they should go for the micro niche. And this is how you can beat the competitiveness within Google, within some of these sectors where you feel like it is just too competitive to hold a space on that first page. If you need more instructions in this, please do feel free to reach out, leave a comment if this isn't clear. And otherwise, I wish you luck with it. And I will see you next Wednesday.